There's a reason you feel like your life isn't moving. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because you're broken. It's because the world lied to you. You were told that things would get better with time, that someone would love you for who you are, that life would reward you if you're patient, but time won't save you. Love won't fix you. And waiting? That's the fastest way to die while still breathing. The ancient Stoics understood something we've forgotten: your peace, your strength, your power. They don't come from others. They come from taking full responsibility for your own mind. This video is built on that foundation. It won't flatter you, but it will arm you with 8 rules that, if lived, will harden your mind, sharpen your instincts, and make you emotionally untouchable. Comment, "I choose strength," if you're ready to watch this video till the end and completely transform your life. Rule 1. Take accountability. You can't improve a life you won't admit you're responsible for. Everything you hate about your current situation, you had a hand in building. Every person who used you, you allowed to stay. Every habit that's weakening you, you made a daily ritual. You've been the architect of your own cage. If that hurts, good. That's where change begins. Taking accountability isn't about blaming yourself. It's about owning your power to change. There's nothing more freeing than realizing no one is coming and that you don't need them to. Because now it's all in your hands, all of it. That girl who emotionally manipulated you, you saw the signs. That job you stayed in for years, you ignored the voice telling you to leave. That life you're settling for, you negotiated your standards. Painful truths lead to real growth. You don't rise by defending your limitations. You rise by saying, "I created this, and I will destroy it if I have to." Your comfort zone is not your sanctuary. It's your graveyard. It kills your ambition with excuses, your dreams with doubt, and your momentum with self-pity. Start with the mirror. Who do you need to forgive? Who do you need to confront? What truth are you pretending not to know? Most people run from accountability because it's ugly. It reveals how much time they've wasted. But hiding won't buy that time back. Owning it might. If you're stuck in the same patterns, same toxic cycles, same regrets, you've made a choice. Maybe not loudly, maybe not consciously, but choice doesn't need a declaration. It just needs inaction. You want different? Then choose different. No more waiting for closure. No more texting people who show you they don't care. No more making pain your personality. Burn the version of you who believed you were powerless. Accountability is brutal, but it's where your new life begins. Rule 2. Control your reactions. Reacting is easy. It's automatic. It's how the world keeps you weak. You get ghosted and you spiral. You see your ex with someone new, and your self-worth collapses. You get criticized, and you spend 3 days obsessing over one comment. This is how most people live, as emotional slaves, chained to every notification, every opinion, every slight. But emotions are not facts. They're signals. They tell you where your wounds are. They show you what you're still giving power to. The Stoics knew the real war was never outside. Not the politics, not the betrayals, not the losses. It was the war inside. That voice that reacts before it thinks. That ego that lashes out before it understands. Control your reactions and you become untouchable. Most of what makes you miserable isn't what's happening. It's how you're interpreting it. The person who disrespected you once doesn't control your life, but you gave them the keys when you started replaying it all night in your mind. Control your story, or someone else will write it. In relationships, this is life-changing. That girl who plays hot and cold, her power over you disappears the moment you stop reacting. That guy who lies to manipulate you, his control fades the second you decide your peace matters more than his drama. Imagine choosing silence when someone expects rage. Imagine choosing grace when they expect you to break. Imagine walking away without the need to prove anything. This isn't weakness, it's mastery. You don't become strong by winning arguments. You become strong by refusing to be baited by chaos. You want freedom? Stop making your emotions your leader. Start making them your students. And train yourself daily. When you're tempted to fire off that angry text, wait. When your pride is bruised, pause. When your ego demands validation, deny it. Every time you don't react, you reclaim power. Every pause is proof. You're not a puppet anymore. You're the one pulling the strings. Rule 3. Let go of comfort. Comfort is killing you, slowly, quietly, but without mercy. It tells you, you've had a long day. You deserve rest. You're overwhelmed. You deserve to escape. You're tired. Skip the gym, order food, scroll TikTok. Comfort doesn't care about your potential. It only cares that you stay the same. And today's world is built to keep you comfortable. Instant delivery, endless content, digital validation. It's all sedating you into a coma of mediocrity. But growth demands pain. Transformation requires resistance. And strength is forged under pressure, not in ease. Look at your life. Everything great you've ever achieved came with discomfort. The best version of you isn't found in comfort. It's hiding behind effort you've been avoiding. People say they want confidence. Confidence doesn't come from affirmations. It comes from action. Confidence is showing up to the gym when you're sore. It's saying no when your friends pressure you. It's sitting alone in silence instead of texting someone who treats you like an option. Seneca trained discomfort on purpose, not to suffer, but to stay sharp, because he knew what we forgot, that comfort is more dangerous than fear. It makes you soft, passive. It convinces you that someday is a strategy, but the life you want will cost you the comfort you're addicted to. Trade scrolling for studying. Trade gossip for strategy. Trade dopamine for discipline. You'll feel withdrawal. That's normal. Comfort's grip doesn't loosen easily, but if you lean into discomfort enough times, it becomes your edge, your advantage, your reminder that you were built to overcome, not to coast. Every rep, every fast, every cold shower, every hard conversation, it's you proving you want it more than you want to feel good right now. The stronger you become at embracing what's hard, the easier life gets. And the weaker your addiction to comfort becomes, the stronger your future gets. Rule 4. Expect hard times. You weren't promised an easy life, but somewhere along the way, you believed you were. You believed love should be smooth, that friends should always be loyal, that if you work hard, you'll be rewarded. But real life isn't a fairy tale. It's a battlefield. You will be betrayed. You will be misunderstood. You will be rejected after giving everything. But none of that has to break you. If you see it coming, it builds you. The Stoics practiced negative visualization, not to be pessimists, but to prepare. They imagined losing everything, their health, their status, their loved ones, not because they were weak, but because they were strong enough to look reality in the eye. And that's what you need, not another "everything will be fine" speech, but the truth. Your best friend might stab you in the back. Your dream job might collapse. That person you gave your heart to might leave without a goodbye. And when it happens, most people crack. They drink more, scroll more, sleep with someone new to distract themselves. You're going to be different. Because you expect hard times, you're mentally armored. That doesn't mean you become numb. It means you stop being surprised by storms and start using them to sharpen your strength. Every disappointment is training. Every loss is leverage. Every heartbreak is a redirection. Stop asking, "Why me?" Start asking, "What's this teaching me?" Because life isn't about avoiding pain. It's about becoming the kind of person who can walk through it with fire in their eyes and wisdom in their heart. And once you become that, nothing owns you. Rule 5. Detach from praise. Needing praise is weakness disguised as motivation. Most people aren't chasing goals, they're chasing approval. They're not building a life for themselves. They're building it so someone claps, so someone says, "Wow," so someone validates their existence. That's not growth, that's performance. And performers get tired when the applause stops. You're not here to be liked, you're here to be respected. There's a difference. Praise feels good, but once it becomes your fuel, you're no longer in control. You're a puppet, dancing for likes, nods, compliments and hearts. But none of that builds your soul, it just fattens your ego until the next silence. Detaching from praise doesn't mean you hate people. It means you don't depend on them. Their words are feedback, not oxygen. Their approval is a bonus, not the mission. The moment you stop chasing validation, your decisions change. You start doing what's right, not what's impressive. You stop hiding your truth because it might upset someone. You stop shaping your personality just to fit in. Detachment isn't apathy, it's freedom. Look at social media. Most of what's posted isn't real, it's curated applause. People pretending to be happy, healed, successful, hoping someone out there will say, "You matter." But if your worth is built on reactions, it will collapse in rejection. And that rejection will come. The same people who praise you today can destroy you tomorrow. Detach from praise and you become dangerous. Because now you build in silence. You grow with or without recognition. You fight battles no one sees, and you don't need to prove a thing. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you grounded. That's what makes you different. And in a world where everyone is addicted to being seen, your silence becomes your edge. Rule 6. Protect your energy. Your energy is leaking, and your life is the proof. You feel tired even when you sleep. You feel anxious even when it's quiet. You feel heavy even when nothing's wrong. That's not burnout, that's mismanagement. You give your energy to people who drain you, to conversations that lead nowhere, to relationships that only take, to apps that want your addiction, not your attention. You're overstimulated, underfocused, and spiritually bankrupt because everything has access to you. Most people don't have a time problem. They have an access problem. You allowed too many low-value inputs to consume your high-potential life. Energy isn't just about sleep or coffee. It's about exposure. Who you listen to, who you respond to, what you let in. You must become ruthless about protecting your mind. Cut contact with people who gossip, complain, or play victim. Say no to calls that leave you drained. Stop answering texts from people who treat you like a backup plan. Mute every notification that distracts you from becoming who you said you'd be. Your peace is expensive. Stop handing it out like a coupon. You are responsible for your energy, your clarity, your direction. You can't build your future while you're plugged into everyone else's noise. This is more than boundaries. This is survival. Some people don't want you healed. They want you stuck, because your growth exposes their stagnation. Your focus makes their chaos louder. Protect your energy by being boring if you have to. Be unreachable if it keeps you sane. Be invisible while you build. Let them wonder. Because if everyone has access to you, your power is public property, and power diluted is power lost. You're not being harsh, you're being wise. Guard your focus like your freedom depends on it, because it does. Rule 7. Stand alone if needed. There's a moment in every journey where the crowd thins out, where the calls stop, where the support disappears, where you're left standing alone, wondering if you made a mistake. That's the test. That's where the real growth starts. Most people never build anything real because they need a cheering squad. They need hand-holding. They need someone to say, "I'm proud of you." But the truth? That moment may never come, and if your courage depends on company, you'll never walk into your purpose. Sometimes you have to cut off every distraction, every half-supportive voice, every fake friend, and walk forward, knowing that even if no one claps, you'll still rise. Standing alone is not punishment, it's preparation. It forces you to hear your own voice. It reveals who you were trying to impress. It shows you whether your dreams were yours or someone else's expectations. Loneliness will test you. It will try to convince you that you need to settle, that you need to go back, that being accepted is more important than being free. But the truth is, peace over popularity, always. You don't need to be understood. You need to be unshakable. The person who walks alone becomes dangerous. Because now, you're not building for approval. You're building from conviction. When you stop needing to be seen, you start doing the things that matter. You stop shrinking. You stop filtering. You stop betraying your values for temporary connection. And something crazy happens. You attract the right people. Not because you needed them, but because you stopped chasing anyone. Real recognizes real, but only after you've dropped the mask. So walk alone if needed, but never lower your standards to avoid solitude. Because every time you stand for truth, you build a spine the world can't bend. Rule 8. Serve something bigger. You weren't born just to survive, just to wake up, make money, look good, and die. You were born to contribute, to fight for something that isn't all about you. And until you find that thing, that cause, that mission, that purpose, you will feel empty no matter how much you achieve. Because self-obsession is a dead end. Modern culture is drowning in me. My healing, my truth, my boundaries, my journey, all important, but incomplete. Because real fulfillment comes from service, from being the one who lifts others when you're still bleeding, from showing up when no one asks you to, from building something that outlives your name. You want to stop feeling lost? Then give yourself to something real, something hard, something thankless, a family, a vision, a craft, a cause. Every pain you've been through has value, but only if you use it to build someone else's bridge. Maybe you've been through heartbreak so you can teach loyalty. Maybe you've been broke so you can teach discipline. Maybe you've been ignored so you can learn to see others deeply. Your scars are your assignment. If you bury them, they rot. If you share them, they heal. Service is what gives struggle its meaning. You're not too broken to be useful. You're too distracted to see how powerful you are when you stop looking in the mirror and start building something outside of yourself. The Stoics didn't live for pleasure. They lived for purpose. And that purpose wasn't comfort. It was contribution. Be the person your younger self needed. Be the voice someone else is desperate to hear. Be the proof that pain is fuel when used with wisdom. Live your life like it matters, because it does. And if you leave this world with nothing but a legacy of strength, truth, and service, you've already won. These 8 rules aren't concepts. They're weapons. Use them, live them, and your life won't just improve, it will transform. Stop waiting. Start rising right now. If this message hit something deep in you, don't just nod. Act. Comment. Discipline is power. Subscribe to the channel if you want these messages to keep reaching the people who need them most. Every like and share helps us keep creating videos that don't just motivate, they wake people up. By subscribing, you're not just helping us grow. You're helping thousands of others finally hear what they need to change their lives.